Hello, everyone. Welcome to day two of League of Learners Summit, an online summit dedicated to your growth in trading, business, finance, and self development. Today is our day two, and we are with Mr. Khaled Maziad. Hello, Khaled.
Hi,
Uh,
hi, babe. How are you?
welcome. So, for those that doesn't know him yet, perhaps because you're not in the trading community, Mr. Khaled Maziad, or Khaled as I call him, is the founder of Trading Roadmap. He lives in Sydney, Australia. He is a trader and a coach specializing in the mindset and emotional aspects of trading. He also holds a degree in civil engineer. And this guy is just incredibly amazing. He's got the best content out there in social media. If you're into trading and you're not following him, you're missing out so much. So right now, just go to his, well, okay, maybe after this talk, go to his Facebook page and join his group. It's just incredible value out there. So yeah, it's an honor that I present to you, Khaled. Hi, Khaled. Can you tell us a
Hi,
little bit
thank you.
about you?
Thanks for this amazing introduction. So my name is Khaled Maziad, as you said. I'm started trading back, like it's almost a decade now, but actively like in the last 7 years. I started on the wrong foot, as every trader starts. Um, um, Having this mindset that it's all about money and things. Actually, when I started, it was back when I started to hear about forex, and it wasn't like the online thing. It was just like when we changed, because I used to live overseas too, and when we exchange money, I didn't understand. I get my head around like why we sometimes we make money, sometimes we lose money, just exchanging the money. So that's for me like was quite fascinating. And at this time, I just ask people and says it's economy and it's ups and downs. I didn't understand this. And actually, it came by accident. Once I was in a seminar, and it was has nothing to do with trading at all. It was, I believe, it was project management thing. And then a guy came and he gave an introduction about trading, and he started to show like his charts and thing. And I looked at the chart. I said, "Oh my God, that's crazy!" I said, I believe that for the first time, I'm having like engineering background too. So when I start seeing a chart on the screen, I say, "Wow, this is what I want to do. This is exactly what I want to do." So I talked to the guy after the presentation and say, "Wow, like I want to know this. I want to learn this. How are you gonna do this?" Then he told me about course or something. I joined it. I started well. At that time, he told me that you have to focus on the trading psychology and the mind aspect of it. And I said, like, like, don't worry about this. Yeah, like, because at that time I was, as actually, for those who don't know me, that I was like 145 kilograms before, and I lost like 65 kilograms. So I thought like that my mindset's quite good, and I can deal with this stuff. Um, and then at that time, what happened to me that I was building my first business at that time, um, which collapsed, and I failed dramatically, like miserably in it. At that time, what happened? It was my trading going bad, my business going bad, even starts my relationship with everyone is going bad. And I had like this aha moment, like I paused. I said, okay, like I have to stop doing everything, like no business, no trading, nothing. I just paused for a couple of weeks. I said I need to reassess. And this is, although like it was one of the most painful moments for me, facing the failure in almost every aspect in my life at that time. But for me, that was a wake-up call for me, that when I realized that although like I believed I had the good mindset, I was able to do like build a successful career, build a good family, build like a trading was going all right at that time. It wasn't that bad. But when everything collapsed, I realized that I was doing many things wrong, and I wasn't focused really on the mind aspect of everything of my life. I was just believing that I'm doing it right, but at that time I wasn't. So I thought I'm focusing on this aspect, but I wasn't. So And at that time I watched it, like it came by accident that, like in the trading community, many people say like you have to be emotionless, you don't focus on
Yeah.
emotions, you have to ignore your emotions and this kind of stuff. uh, Coming from these parts of the world, that I believe most people have the same understanding, especially for men, the idea that you don't have to, especially for men, don't focus on your emotions. You can't show your emotions, you can't show like your feelings or something. So I believe that was the right thing. But then at that time, like everything was collapsing and going down, and I watched the video, and this person was talking about that we have to acknowledge our emotions. This is for me was, although like I started reading about personal development when I was young, like when I was a teenager, and psychology, but I never thought that we have to accept our emotions and acknowledge it and feel it and this kind of stuff. It was totally new for me. So at that time I felt like, "Ah, I want to know more about that. It's quite interesting that you're telling me I have to do the opposite." So
Yeah.
I knew how it happened before, and it didn't work for me. So let's see this. So I start to dive deeper into this aspect, and at that time everything started to change. Like I started to realize that, yeah, like all I have been taught about emotions and mindset, I was just sometimes suppressing my emotion to an extent that I think I'm doing well. On the surface, I'm doing well, but deep inside me, I wasn't.
Mhm.
So I realized that instead of having this, so most of the time, it's against what most people say. People ignore your emotion, don't feel bad. You have to smile even if you don't have, just be positive and this kind of stuff. It's not right, actually. You have to an extent experience your emotions. And what was interesting at that time, I was reading about Etsai Kuza, and he has a book he called Trading a Tribe. And this is, by
Yeah.
the way, how I started Trading Roadmap Tribe. It came from me from this idea. It's and he's it's like Kuta, like he's a legendary trader. He's a
Yeah.
systematic trader, and the entire book was talking about feelings and emotions. And I was shocked. I said, like everyone in the industry is saying that if you are a systematic trader, that means you are taking emotionless trades. He's saying that's quite the opposite. He said, like I'm gonna be rephrasing what he said, but he said that the your trading system is the feelings that you are unwilling to experience. So your trading system is totally affected by the feeling that you are trying to avoid. If you are trying to avoid a feeling, actually you are suppressing it, you are not avoiding it. What most people think, and what I thought at that time, that we are I don't feel, like when we say I don't feel, like, like it's okay, like you hurt me and I can't feel anything, like, this kind of stuff. It doesn't work that way, actually. But then I realized that if you can acknowledge your emotions and your feelings, what happened at that time is you just neutralize that. So instead of having these negative emotions just suppressed within you, and then it just evolve and getting bigger and bigger, it is just like you feel it, you get rid of it. And then scientifically they found that there is the lifespan of the emotion is couple of seconds. So one of the like in research before said it's 90 seconds, and then another research came, no, 9 seconds is too long for the emotion to take 9 seconds. He said just seconds, sometimes just 20 seconds, just sometimes just less. Now, what people might say, okay, like how that affect, if you're saying if you're saying it's only 20 seconds or 30 seconds, I can have a bad day, I can have a bad week, I can have a bad month. What we actually do is we add log to the fire. So there is a fire there, it's happening. If you guys just gonna keep it there, just leave the fire there, it's just gonna go. What we are doing, and we say, okay, now I'm feeling this, and that means I'm stupid, adding log to the fire. and that means I'm not good, and add log to the fire. And that means everything gonna collapse, and I lose my job, and I lose my life, I lose my career, I lose my family, and you add log. And then when I discovered this at that time, I said, wow, I want to do this. One of my like role models in life was, for my entire life, was Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
And then when I hear that he was, actually, I still, he is still at till this stage, he is mentoring, or not mentoring, like he is looking at the psychological aspects for Paul Tudor Jones, and he's a fund manager.
Yes.
And he was like coaching him. And I love Tony Robbins. I said, wow, this is exactly what I want to do now. Because now I start to have this understanding. I start to dive deeper into this, started like to understand that most of the trading psychology that's in the industry out there, talking just about being disciplined, which we need to have, talking about trading plan, which you of course you need to have, but it doesn't talk about how deeper we have to go. And this trading is not only about you as a trader. You are a human being that happened
Yeah.
to trade. So everything in your aspect, in your life, and in different aspects of life is affected by you. So, and the trading is not a different. So if you have a bad day in your family, if you have a bad day in your business, if you have a bad day, you can separate yourself from that and say, oh, but I don't have anything. I have nothing. No, I just gonna act as if I don't have anything. Actually, you need to quite doing the opposite. You need to experience those feelings. So when I start doing this, I start to see like even people around me say like, wow, like you are changing. Like people start to see like massive difference. And I started like share about this on Facebook. At first, like people like, oh wow, like this is crazy. What the hell you are talking about? But then because I was doing deep researches about that, I say, hey, like confront me. I'm happy with showing you researches. I'm happy to show you like even traders are things that like someone like Itzhak Kuda, he wrote a book. He didn't write a book about trading systems. He wrote a book about emotions and feelings. And then when I started like helping other people with that, and they start to get results, and they start to say, wow, like this is really works. Like, you know, like we have never seen something like this. Because what's happened before, people used to go to seminars about personal development. They feel
Yeah.
good, everything is okay, everything is awesome. Then come back to your desk, look at the chart, you see the price hit your stop loss, you forget everything, you throw the towel and just start revenge trading, taking all the bad things. You forget the seminar, you forget the fire, you forgot everything that you have
Yes.
done. And then you start do exactly the opposite of what you should have been done. And then you realize that, and you say, okay, like tomorrow I'm not gonna do this. And then tomorrow is again another day, and you do the same thing again. And when once I started like talk to people like, hey, like isn't that your life? I know it because I used to do this. Like, so I'm so some people say like, you are just exactly describing my day. I say, yeah, I know, because I used to do exactly this. I used to read trading psychology in the morning or at night, and then wake up in the morning, forget everything about it, because it wasn't congruent with who I am. I wasn't solving
Yeah.
every other aspect in my life. And this is was like the seed. That's where I started trading roadmap, helping other
Oh.
people, focusing on the mental clarity and emotional balance, so they
Mhm.
can what I found was some people are stuck in range, like in this cycle, or are stuck in range. Some people tend to like go to some sort of resistance in their trading account, or and come back to break even, and then they start to take it all the way up again. And I had a similar experience.
Yeah.
I had this experience before. So I realized like why this is happening. I know exactly how you can solve this. So I started helping other people, and this was like how I started trading roadmap.
That's really cool. Yeah, I do agree because I myself is also like a fan of like self-development, but attended seminars, read books, but many times I just forget what you learned in a day, or like in weeks that you learned from reading the books. But so that's interesting to know. And so today, the topic of your talk is about breaking our account resistance. First of all, like for people that maybe there are people that's watching the stream right now that is new to the new to trading. Can you kindly like speak about briefly what is an account resistance? what do you mean by like account resistance, and how do we know when we actually have them?
Yes, sure. So I like always to show some examples from real life because everyone can relate to that.
Yeah.
So think like this: your account resistance is the easiest way you can measure it is your bank account. So every one of us, and no exceptions, I mean everyone, you have a number in your bank account that you feel comfortable if you have this amount of number. So let's call this number is like I feel good if I have $50,000 in my bank account. Let's call it that. So you feel good. You don't feel like anything is good. Everything is good. You have money. You have like expenses are taken care of for the next couple of months or good. And then there is a number down there that once you become close to it, then you're gonna start feeling, okay, like we have to save, we have to take care of business. I should stop going out. I should stop eating out. I should stop buying like things from Amazon. I should stop like attending seminars. I should stop doing this. And this number, let's call it like 5,000 or something. For some people might be zero. For some people might be
Hmm.
negative, whatever. Like just so one of the things is that when I work with people, I said, let's define your numbers first. What are your numbers? And everyone, almost everyone at first, I call it the levels or the limits. And everyone at first is, no, I don't have limits. I don't have numbers. I say, no, come on, you have numbers. Just go back to your bank account and tell me when when you open your bank account and see what number you feel that you are comfortable, you're gonna buy things and everything is awesome. You're gonna go to Amazon and buy crazy stuff. And then what number you see in your bank account, once you reach that point, you're gonna stop doing crazy stuff. You're gonna stop dining out. You're gonna stop saving. You're gonna stop. These are your limits. Exactly, it is quite similar in trading. What happened to me actually, how I discovered this, it happened when I started trading that I used to go all the way to 30% of my trading account and then lose all the money back to break even. Once I go to break even, I start to focus on the trading plan. I start to stop revenge trading, stop everything, just focus because I don't want to lose. So I just want to, I'm break even. Break even is okay. Like as long as I'm break even, I'm okay. So that was my number. I go all the way up to 30%, but once I reach 30%, because at that time the number for me, okay, that's awesome, that's good, 30% is good, like this number is good. It happens like quite often that once I realized, because I was looking at my trading journal, I said, there's something wrong here. I'm stuck in this range. I'm totally stuck. I never go like, and surprisingly, like, I never go $1 above this number. Like there should be something wrong. Once I reach this number, I start to like become euphoric. I start to like break my own rules. I want to start thinking about like, I gonna just it doesn't matter because I have money, like now, and
Yeah.
I'm like as they say, like it's not my money anymore, so it's just the account's money, and I'm safe now, and even if I lose, this mindset, even if I lose, I'm still having my
Yes.
investment yet. So once I realized that that was a cycle, actually, once I realized this, I said, this is exactly where the problem is. I'm stuck in this range. So what I want to do, I want to raise my, let's call it my support from down, because as
Yeah.
most traders do, like when the price is in range, you're gonna find the price going to certain points. You call this, when it stops, we call this resistance, and
Hmm.
when it come bounce, we call this support. So your support and your resistance, you have to define what's your support and your resistance. And actually, the easiest way to start doing this, first, look at your bank account, know your numbers first. Then start reflected in your trading. Once you're gonna know your numbers in trading, you're gonna know exactly, okay, once you go below your initial investment, you're gonna find yourself thinking about, okay, now I have to start focusing on the trading plan. I don't want to break my rules because I don't want to make money. But once you have more money, and once I realized that that was my resistance, this number up there. So I started to say, okay, like this is not my resistance because it was all in my mind. And this is what I call it, the mental and emotional capacity. So it's
Yes.
exactly, think like this. If you have a tank, a water tank, and this tank is like 1000 liter, and you are trying, like, no matter how you can put massive action, how hard you try to put 2000 liter in this 1000 liter tank. So no matter
Mm.
how hard you try, it's going to be overflow. It's always going to go out. No matter how hard you try, put massive action as you want to take help, ask other people to help you filling. It's going to go outside. It's going to overflow because the container is small. So the problem is we need to increase your container, which I called expanding your container, which is mentally and emotionally. You need to shift those numbers. You need to say, okay, if my support is at $5,000 or whatever number is, this is no longer my number. My number now is 10,000. And you define it this, and you put it somewhere. Actually, in my course, I give it like to people and say, put it to your desk, next to your desk. No, these are your limits. And what we do about that, because mentally, what most people, I found another problem that some people have. If they are risking 1%, 2%, whatever the risk is. So once the account start to grow, now they have to risk more. Now, if you are risking $100, maybe you are okay with losing $100. Now, if the account to grow to a certain point, and now you should risk based on your risk management, you have to risk $500. Maybe you are not mentally and emotionally okay with
Yes.
losing $500. So although the trading system is telling you you have to risk $500, you shouldn't risk $500 because you have to grow your emotional capacity step by step. Because the way you react to the $500 is not the same way you react with $100. And this is what most people don't understand. When they talk about percentages,
Mhm.
I'm risking 2%, but what does the 2% mean for you? What does the 2% mean for you? If the 2% is $1,000, are you okay if you have a $100,000 account? Are you okay to lose $1,000? If you are okay with that, that's awesome. What I found that for many people, when they have this shift and the account to start to grow, and this is exactly when they start to hit the resistance, because they are not okay with losing this amount. Because if you have here, you should risk 500, and there you should risk 1,000. You are not okay with risking 1,000 mentally and emotionally. You are emotionally, I'm losing 1,000. That's too much. Actually, I was coaching a trader once, and he was talking about like, like I'm always like, don't follow my plan and breach this. So I said, like, okay, like, why you don't exit like when the price hit your stop loss? Oh, like, I don't know, like, it just happened. I said, like, like, what's gonna happen if you lose? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, let's say like you exit and you lost. He said, yeah, but this is like $1,000, and um, this is mostly like 1 week salary for me. So I said, okay, like, do you see the problem here? The problem here is not the trading at all. Like, it is his understanding to what $1,000 is.
Mhm.
$1,000 for him means 1 week of working, or 1 month of salary, or whatever the number was for him is. It means something that's not trading at all. It means something. He's identified by this number. He wasn't thinking that this is just a trading, this is just my plan. And this is why when we tell people you shouldn't risk money you can't afford to lose, and when everyone is saying that, people laugh. But this is why we are saying that, because if you are not willing to risk the $1,000, even though if I gave you like the best fund manager system and
Mhm.
everything, you are not accepting it. You're not be able to say, okay, like, I'm not okay with losing $1,000. So if you are not emotionally and mentally, and I call it psychological thermostat. If your psychological thermostat is not ready to lose $1,000, you can't risk $1,000. What you can do is just risking bit by bit. But also, it's not also about trading. You have to start shift other areas in your life too, because the $1,000, the understanding of the $1,000 didn't come from trading. It came from areas outside of trading. So we have to go deeper and see what does $1,000, whatever the number is, mean for you. So
Yeah.
that's like, in a nutshell,
That's
how you can find your support and resistance, and the explanation why you have this support and resistance. It's most of the time what I found, it has nothing nothing to do with trading. It has nothing to do with the
Not with
system.
its sister
That
strategy.
doesn't mean, but again, that means everyone should have a trading plan, should have a system. 100%. There is no doubt about that. But once you have this, if you are struggling executing it, you have to look
Yeah.
at those numbers and see why you are not able to risk this amount of money. Why, when you reach this amount of losses, why you start doing this.
Yeah, that's there's like some things you said that I like could totally agree because I myself like experience it as well. So in order to break through that resistance, what steps do I need or like other traders need to take? Like where can we start other than like like you said, like have the have that list of this is your resistance right now, maybe increase it. This is your support right now, maybe increase it as well. So what step do we need to follow, and what like shift on our mindset do we need to do? Can you share that with us?
Yeah, sure. So actually, I put it in 5 steps. It's literally 5 steps, and my understanding that trading psychology is not the first step. Actually, it is the second step. So we need to, because as you know, we are human being first. So your human mindset, your mindset as a human affects your trading. So what most people who start, they think, oh, my problem is trading psychology. It's not trading psychology. So we start first with you as a human. So what I start with is number one is your limiting beliefs. What do you believe is what first for some people, what's your belief about money?
Yeah.
Coming from an engineering background, I used to work like 16 hours more than a day. I know like money should come from hard work, and you should put tremendous amount of time and effort in order to gain money. Gaining money from trading was one of the challenges me personally, because my belief at that time that money should come from work, that I worked hard. So I work like 16 hours a day, 6 days a week, for entire month to get my salary. Now I can't do this in front of my screen. So but mentally, many people don't think that way, but in a deeper level, when you talk to them, actually I have one of my students, when I start working with her, she told me that she used to make money, but before she started withdrawing it, she had the belief, and like uh, she had this belief that this money came easy, I didn't work for it. So what she used to do is just give it back.
Hmm.
And I said, okay, like when she talked to me, I said, I know exactly what are you doing. I know exactly what's the problem here, because I tend to have exactly the same problem. So we worked together on that. And once we work it, she did like 2 withdrawals after that.
Hmm.
Because for her, that she started to see where her limits were. So the first thing is understanding these limiting beliefs. I'll tell you what one of the biggest limiting beliefs in the industry. I have to double my account to make sure that my trading plan is working.
Yes.
I have no idea from where people got this limiting belief. I have no idea what is the basis of this. I have no idea what is the idea that if you double your trading account, that's gonna make anything. Like it's exactly if I buy a lottery ticket with $1 and I won tomorrow morning, does that mean if I bought after tomorrow with $1 million lottery tickets that I gonna win? It doesn't mean anything. Of course not. And I found many people, they have this idea, I just want to double my money, so I make sure my trading account is like my trading system is working. And when I go deeper, I said, from where the hell this thing came from?
Hmm.
Because it's not one person. Like I spoke to many traders all around the world. They have this double the money thing. And then I say, okay, like we double the money. What we gonna do now? Like, okay, double the money. Okay, let's say we double the money. Ah, that means the system works. I said, okay, did you test your system? They say yes. Does your system says it doubles money? No. So why do you ask your trading system to double money if the system doesn't say that? Why you are expecting this from the system? The system didn't say that. You are asking a fish to fly, and they are saying it's not working. It's not flying. The fish is stupid. And then they start to realize, oh, I'm having revenge trading because I want to double the money. I was literally talking to someone yesterday, and I was asking him, okay, what about your goals in this year? And he said, I want to double my money. I said, oh my goodness. Again, oh my goodness. So why you want to double the money? I'm not, and again, I'm not saying here, don't double the money. I wish you're going to make 10 times, not only doubling. But I mean, from where this idea that in order, because all the beliefs is exactly have the same formula. If I get X, I will do Y. So the X is whatever belief you have, I will do Y is. If I double my account, that means my trading, I will add more money. If I buy the car, I'll be more happy. If I travel to this country, I'll be happy. If I went to this vacation, I'll be happy, or I'll be like whatever. We have, it's always like, I need to have X to get Y. I need to have X to get Y. The problem with these beliefs is most of the time, it doesn't have any basis, logically, it doesn't have any basis. It doesn't have any formula to describe it. And it's mostly comes from just people told it to you, you heard it some way. Or for some people, what I realized that they are feeling they are missing out in their life and they want to make money quickly. So the only thing that intellectually for them, the easiest way is to double their money. So that means they're going to get more money. The problem with that, they block many other doors that they can make money from even easier than this. So I talk to people, like I say, okay, like what are other businesses, or what are your things that you want to do? Because you are focusing on just doubling the money from trading. Why don't we think about making more money somewhere else and adding money to trading? And then eventually you're going to double your money in trading and even more than that, and trade your plan and trade your system, doing both till you reach a certain point that you can be consistent to an extent that you can manage other people's money, you can manage your business. Because I realized what most people, most people say they want to be full-time traders, but they don't understand what they mean by full-time traders. Full-time traders, most of people, successful people I know that full-time traders, they are trading for funds or private funds, or they have private funds. Though they are not trading they are not even trading like just $10,000 account and expecting like to pay the bills from it. They have other sources of income. So this is one of the limiting beliefs. So identifying your limiting beliefs, I call it, it's like uninstalling your limiting beliefs and asking yourself, is this belief is helping me, is serving me? The problem with that, most of the time, we can't do this by ourselves. I believe this is the only challenge. Most of the time we can see this clearly by ourselves. So you need someone to do this. But if you are able to do this by yourself, that's awesome. If you are able to put I call it calling your bullshit out and putting and saying, okay, here is my limiting beliefs. I'm saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are the things are limiting me. And ask yourself, are those beliefs are serving me? If the answer is no, then you ask yourself the $1 million question, why the hell do you believe in that? If something is not serving you, if something is not helping you, why you still believe in it? So this is the first step. Of course, like we can go talk about this for hours and hours, but I mean, identifying your limiting beliefs, uninstall those limiting beliefs, installing in your limiting beliefs, this is the first step. Then second step, once you did that, then you're gonna start to focus on your goals, what you wanna achieve. What I found that most people have the big picture vision, but they don't break it down into goals. So they have the big idea, I want to be happy and successful and everything good and like all good. That's awesome. That's great. Okay, what do you mean by, some people say, I want to be financially free. You say, oh, okay, awesome. That's a good thing. What does financially freedom mean to you? I say, what do you mean? I just need not to worry about the money. I say, okay, like if you are spending like $30,000 a year, and I gave you $30,000 a year every year, that means you are financially free now, correct? He said, okay. Now, do you know how much do you spend? No. Do you know what's your number that you want? No. Do you know what the hell do you want? No. Okay, how are you gonna achieve something that you don't want, that you don't know what it is? Like if you just, I want to be financially free. Okay, I just gonna sit here till tomorrow morning, till the next year, till 10 years, waiting to be financially free. I will never be financially free because I don't know what financial freedom means to me. On the other hand, what many people, what I call it true goals, and what I mean by true goals is something that you want to achieve. And I mean you, not your parents, not your husband, not your spouse, not your girlfriend, not your boyfriend, not your friends, not your colleagues, not your kids. You, what you, when you sit like in an island by yourself and you want to achieve things in your life, is this what you want to achieve? This is what I call a true goal. That is, you don't want it because I found most people need things because I saw someone is doing this on the internet, so I think it's cool. Actually, I started my first business with this idea. Like it looks like, and I'm not saying e-commerce doesn't work, but I failed in e-commerce because I didn't have any passion for e-commerce. I thought it's a good thing,
Yeah.
and I did like that was my idea about it. I'm not saying like millions of people are successful in e-commerce, but I mean, at that time for me that, and the idea of how to build the company was me like the logo and the thing. I don't even have like a logo for my company now. I just put Trading Roadmap as a logo. Like this is my logo. Like people ask me, where is the logo? I say, that's the logo. Like, don't care about the logo. It's working. Like don't worry about it. So I mean, people think about like the surface level thing and they don't go to the core. What do you want? So that's a very important step. And I found many people when they start doing this, they start at first calling, okay, I'm gonna do this, this is my goal. I say, okay, cool. And then when I talk to people, I say, okay, cool, we're gonna find. And the next week they call, you know what, I'm not sure if this is something that I wanted. I say, cool, yeah, since we're discovering it now, that's awesome. But what I found that most of the time what you call it first is not you have to go deeper than that, because usually what you get at first is what you know and what other people are saying. But if you are willing to go deeper than that, then you discover this. Then most importantly, so the first thing that we removed all the limiting beliefs. The second thing, we have our goals, so we specified. And what I mean here by goals is not only about money, it's about how do you want to look like, where do you want to live, where would you want to do. And they mean you, not what you think people gonna think you are cool if you have. No, what do you want? And they don't care what it is as long as you're happy with it. Then we move to the third point, which is the most important thing. Some people do this, they have a vision boards, they have all the awesome things they do, and they watch The Secret or they read the book, and I'm gonna sit and close my eyes and visualize that I have the car. I'm not gonna go anywhere. I'm not gonna do anything in my life. I'm just gonna sit here and the car will come. And then you wait for 1 week, 1 year, 2 years, nothing happened. Because they missing the most important part. What is the strategy? What are the steps that exactly you can do right now in order to achieve the goal that you said you want to achieve? And what most people think at this level, that I need to know how exactly everything should work. And this is, I'm just gonna be polite, like this is ridiculous to think that you need to know everything, because if you don't know it at that time, how you think you're gonna know everything? This is the first time you get it. You have never done it before. So of course you don't know how to do it, but you need to have the willingness first to get it. Now, what you need to do at this stage is start first by saying, okay, like what I know now that I can go that way. And here, what the most people start to face at this stage is fear of losing and fear of failure. Okay, but I don't want to fail. I said, it is not failure. You are experimenting. You don't know. You are starting something new. You don't know how to do it. You have a hypothesis, says that if I do this, I might get that. So that's the theory of it. I'm gonna start testing with it. If I got it that way, what I call it, you have what I call is a desired outcome, and then you have the actual outcome that you get. Once you start comparing these to each other, then you're gonna start, okay, like, is it the process? Is it the goal? Is it what? What I call it is a GPS system. It's exactly like, when you drive a car and you take a wrong turn. You don't cancel the trip when you take a wrong turn. You don't cancel the trip. You just look at the navigator, and navigator will tell you, okay, like take the next left, take the next right, and they're gonna change your way in order to reach the same destination. But if you don't have the destination, which we did in phase 2, now it's easier because we know how we're gonna reach this point. So this is the third step. Once you do the steps, once you know the process, once you know the plan, then you're gonna start execute that one.
Yeah.
Now, so we first defining the limiting beliefs, we put the goal that's true, we focused on how we gonna do it now with the ways, with the possibilities that we know about. Because when you start going through the journey, you will gain new information, and as you gain new information, you can update the plan. So your plan is not something fixed. Your plan should be flexible,
Mm-hmm.
because you will gain more information along the way. Along the way, you're gonna know new things. Now, once you reach this point, what I found the problem for some people is they lose the awareness because they caught up in this cycle, and they are not able to focus. So the fourth step for me here is raising your awareness, and what I call the expanded awareness. The expanded awareness is to reach this point. That's where you are in the zone. And what I mean here by the zone, that you are focused internally. Because when we tell people that you need to be aware, people think that they need to be aware of other things happening outside of them first.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be aware of yourself first. You don't care about what's happening outside first, because not many people will tell you that, but the truth is you cannot manage everything outside of yourself. Like what happened in the outer world, we cannot, like, we didn't manage like what we have now, like the virus thing. We didn't manage, like we didn't plan for it. We didn't know that's gonna happen. But how we can respond to it, this is something we own.
Yeah.
How we gonna respond to it, this is our, this is mine. I can't do that. What the virus is doing out there, maybe I can't control it. What the virus itself is doing, I can't control. What the government is doing, I can't control that. What other people think about me, I can't control that. They gonna think. What I can control, what I gonna do myself. How I gonna respond to these situations myself first. Once you be able to reach this awareness about yourself, and how do you feel this within yourself, like this is one of the questions that I always tell my students, like, what do you feel about that? And I say, like, what do you mean what I feel about that? Like, what do you feel? Because once I ask this question, the first thing people are going to do, they're going to go internally. And this is what exactly I want them to do. You need to go internally first. You start to shut down everything outside and just go down deeper to yourself. And what I call it here is just being connected to your true self. Because once you get connected to your true self, and once you are there, it doesn't really matter what's happening out there. And what I mean by that, you can control your response. I can own. That doesn't mean it's not gonna be painful. I'm not about positive thinking. It's not a positive thinking. It's not being positive and everything gonna be okay. No, no, no. What you can do right now, because all we have is right now. I don't know what's going to happen in the next 3 years. I don't know how it's
Mm-hmm.
going to happen in the next 10 years. I have no idea. What you can do right now, that I know it's true, in order to respond to these situations that I have. What's going to happen after 1 hour? I don't know. Maybe we have scenarios for that, but what's going to happen? I don't know. This is my plan for now, and along the way I'm going to fix it. But without having this expanded awareness and reach this amount of focus, this is when you reach this point, like, let me ask you this, like, babe, like, how many times when you are working on something and you reach the point that you are working, and then you lose the time, and you go like 5-6 hours, you have
Yeah.
no idea what you have been doing, you're just in the zone, you're just doing your thing. This is when you reach this point, you don't care about what's happening out there. What people are saying about even what you are doing, you don't care. What people are like gonna say about this, you don't care. You just being here now, focusing on what you can control in this situation. This is what we call what I call the expanded awareness. Once you reach this point, this is where what we did in step one with the removing and installing new beliefs, and then we moving to the goals, and then going to the plans and the strategy, and then having the focus and the awareness that's going to enable us to focus on executing our plan, then we are ready for the fifth step. The fifth step is focusing on the emotional part and expanding your emotional capacity. And this is where you will start getting deeper connection with your body. And what do you feel? Because emotions and feelings are different.
Mhm.
We use those terms like as if they are the same. Actually, yes, it might be the same, but I mean, like if we're gonna go deeper into this, the emotion is it is a complex chemical reaction of what's happening within your body when you have a trigger. So when I hear someone scream now, my body gonna do a reaction. This reaction is emotion. My heart's gonna start doing something, my chest gonna start doing things. So when you feel like when you hear like a bad news or something, so you're gonna feel like you don't see like, "Oh, I can't breathe." Why you can't breathe? Because like some vessels started to contract and totally you can't breathe. You're literally some vessels in your body you cannot breathe. And then on the other hand, when you're feeling so excited, like I want to embrace the world, I want to like hug everyone, I feel so happy, so excited, that I feel this is because you are expanded and you feel that you can include everyone. This is what you feel in your body. And this is what I found that from our upbringing, it's also from especially I found this especially like you will be surprised, but I found women are very good with dealing with this, because most of the time they can feel, they know what's happening. Men, we are not very good as doing this, and this is based on our upbringing. Like don't show your
Yeah.
emotion, don't laugh, don't cry. Men shouldn't show their emotion. And when I say that, this doesn't mean that you should cry every time and just like, because some men, when they say, like, you mean like we're gonna cry everywhere, and it's not about that. It's just acknowledging what you feel. Because most of the time what you do, like if you think like why most people are addicted to anything,
Mhm.
I used to be a heavy smoker. What we are trying to do is trying to cover. You are just trying to cover what you feel. So you drink something, you take something, you do something, so you are just numbing the feeling.
Mhm.
Actually the feeling is still there, but because you are not feeling it, you are suppressing it. That doesn't mean it's gone. And this is
Yeah.
what actually Carl Jung said, and he is considered the father of the modern analytical psychology. And he said, what you resist not only persists, but also grow in size. So what are you resisting actually grow in size? Maybe you are not seeing it. It's actually like you are just swiping it under the rug and thinking that it's
Mhm.
not there. So, and this is what most of the time we do. Like, oh, I don't feel anything. I'm okay. I'm good. I'm happy, and and actually some of the one of the things that people say, I'm positive. I'm positive means I'm not feeling anything. I'm not gonna feel any bad thing. It's not about not feeling bad things. It's it's about having this awareness to what do you feel. And as I told you, like the emotion lifespan doesn't take that much, but you need to acknowledge it, because otherwise it's gonna be suppressed. And as
Mhm.
it's like Udo said, like he said, if you are not, even he said in trading system, but I mean he said that the feelings that you are unwilling to experience is going to run your life. So any feeling that you are unwilling to experience is going to run your life, because it's gonna come again and again, because this feeling gonna be out, this emotion that's in your body wanna be out because it's
Mhm.
trapped there. So instead of trapping it and just pushing it by taking something, or by drinking, by taking smoking, by doing whatever, or just ignoring it and just act as if nothing is happening, is just experience it and feel it and let it go. And this is what we call the letting go of the attachments and things. So when we talk about letting go, most people think letting go mean ignoring. No, letting go means experiencing it and then let it go. So you feel it first. You have to feel it first. I have to, because you can't let go something you don't have.
Yeah.
So I have to have it first. I have to own it first. Then I will let it go. Okay, like now I feel it. Now I'm okay. Okay, it's gone. Okay, I'm okay with that. Whatever is gonna come or not, it's gone. So those are the 5 steps. So again, I'm gonna say them again. It's first the limiting beliefs, working on the limiting beliefs. Second point is working on your vision and your true goals. Third point, we're working on the strategy. That's how you're gonna apply your goal that you identified. Then
Mm-hmm.
having the expanded awareness, and then raising your emotions to the point that it expands to the point that first you acknowledge it, understand it. Once you have this point, it's going to be easier to remove the limits, what I call expand your mental and emotional capacity, because you can't expand something without knowing what it is. If I know
Yeah.
how big it is, if I know this container is 1000 liter and I know that I need 3000 liter, okay, now I can expand. Now I know what to do. Before,
Yeah.
it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
just guessing. And then at last, for me, then let's talk about training psychology as you want to be, because for my understanding is, if I can, I call it fixing, it's not the right term, but I just make it easier for everyone. If I can fix this human being psychology in every single aspect in your life, your trading gonna be awesome without anything. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
of course. Now of course we're gonna focus on some what I call it advanced trading psychology thing, how to really deal with fear of missing out, how to really deal with fear of losing money, how to really deal with that. But because if you think about it, most of what people face in training psychology, it comes from limiting beliefs and things that's happening on the first stages. So without removing all those things first, just jumping on the training psychology by itself and thinking it's all about a training plan, which again is 100% important. You can't trade without training plan. You can't trade without having a system. But just focusing on the system, you, and you are not mentally prepared for that, and you are not emotionally prepared for that,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be useless. So this
Yeah.
exactly the steps. Like this is a step by, and this is actually what I live by. This is what I teach. This is exactly like I give you the whole formula. This is exactly what I do.
Wow, it's really amazing. There's like lots of things that, well, I'm learning a lot from you, just with your with the mental age accelerator, and with what you put out there. There's like so much learning, especially like tonight, like the audiences that are here are very lucky. And thank you for for sharing what you know, and your knowledge for everyone. That's really amazing. And I wish you guys, or everyone that's watching this, I wish you took notes, because there are just some truth bombs in there. And if if you need to watch this again, you can. There's a replay. You can watch the replay of this, watch it again, and actually really, like you said, own it. Own it, apply it, because even if it's just one small things that you take from this whole session, it's going to be incredible result from you. So, oh, that's amazing, Khaled. That's I wish we have so much time. And there's like some, even I have like lots of questions still. But well, how do the people get in touch with you if they want to talk to you? And also, if you can share with us about the I think you have mental edge accelerator program, right? Can you tell us more about that?
So actually, the Mental Age Accelerator program is the only program that we have in Training Roadmap at the moment, and we actually go through the same steps that I described just for you right now. This is exactly what we do there. This is exactly what we put it in a way that makes it easier for everyone to apply. So
Mm-hmm.
we move it, like we moved everything from the theory and just put it in an application. So it's very practical. We do it in a way that you know exactly what to do. So it's not, because many people say, okay, like let's do about limiting beliefs and stuff. I say, okay, like again, limiting belief. I have been like whenever I go, they talk about limiting beliefs, but I don't know how to work on this. So actually, when I discovered one of the problem that I found that people can't get it without guidance, and this is why we don't just in the mental edge accelerator program, what we have is the guidance and to support. It's the mentoring from me directly, and we do this weekly mentoring, and you know that like it's every single week we meet, we talk, and we do it in a very unique way that people don't type and I answer question. I actually talk to people directly, and this is what I found. Actually, this is the way I learn personally. Like this is how I take my coaching from my mentors, and like I like talking to my mentors. I don't like
Mm-hmm.
just typing. I like talking to them, telling them This is how I talk with my mentors actually. And I found this is the easiest way, because you find the connection, you find the link, you
Yes.
find like we can go deeper, like as deeper we can go, and we can find what I call it the roots of the thing that we are trying to find. So this is exactly what we are doing in the Mental Edge Accelerator program. It's a mentorship program where we focus on the 6 steps that I shared with you, plus all the support and the guidance from myself. And
That's amazing.
actually what we found, like it's about actually not only what the guidance from me, it's about the community. I believe we have a very unique um, community. You are one of those members, but I mean, we have a very unique community that the group members are what I call them, like actually because I choose all my, like actually we call it, I call it a two-way conversation. So I choose my students and they choose me. So we don't just allow anyone to enter the mental edge accelerator program. There is a process so you can qualify to enter the mental edge accelerator program, because we make sure that you are a high achiever, you're a person that have a certain quality that you will get success. Because as I
Mhm.
always say, your success is number one priority. If you don't succeed, I don't succeed. So if I put my success on the line, I can't just let anyone go there. I have to choose people that I know that they will succeed. I know that they're gonna do the work, because it's not just about you joining the program and taking a course and saying that you took the course and don't get results. It doesn't make any sense to me. If you want to join a course, you have to be willing to do the work, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense. And this is what the other problem that people sometimes they join and they say they think is everything going to be fixed by itself. But if someone is willing to go there and do the work, it's like I feel like it's scientifically impossible you don't get results. It's scientifically impossible that you don't get a transformation if you are doing some work on yourself, if you are applying it, if you are putting 100% on the effort trying to reach this amount of success with all the researches and support you get. I don't find a reason why no one will succeed.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. I mean, we can read, we can watch whatever, we can go to any seminar or just do whatever you want to attend, educational or like information programs. But yeah, if you're like you're not willing to do the work, nothing's gonna happen,
Exactly.
regardless how much money, how much time, how much effort you
Exactly.
put into it. But if you don't really like take action, then yeah, no,
Because
nothing,
I
nothing's
always
gonna
talk.
happen.
It's not about being, because people misunderstand this, but I'm gonna say it. It's not about just being motivated. Because what I found that many people are motivated,
Yeah.
and that's not bad or something. But what I say, if you are always getting your motivation from external resources,
Hmm.
that means there is something wrong. If you are always relying on someone to give you motivation, that means you are lacking something deeper within yourself. Because what actually should happen, you are motivated with the something within yourself, as I call it internal motivation first.
Yeah.
If you have this internal motivation, then it's going to be easier. Because think like this: if the car has the battery, I can push the car, I can push you, and you can move forward. But if there is no battery in the car, no matter how hard we can try, we have to change the battery or something, because otherwise there is no way. But if every time you need, if every time we can give you the kickstart, I call it, like I can give you the kickstart. But if every like 2 days you need a kickstart, that means there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Like if you need just to watch videos, because I found people like read quotes, there is nothing wrong with that. Reading books, there is nothing wrong with that. Watching like 100 videos, YouTube, there is nothing wrong with that. But I mean, if that's your life,
Yeah.
yeah, come on. Like it's not just about getting motivation and information, because I found many people are in the information gathering mood, and
Yes.
it comes from they don't want to try, or they want to get the best and the perfect thing. But what I realized from my experience and people I worked with, that the process only become clear after you finish, after you reach the destination. You can look back and say, okay, now I can tell you how I came here. Now I can
Yeah.
tell you how I'm in. And then you will discover that every person gonna have his own unique perspective. And and this is like what we do in the Mental Age Accelerator. When I coach someone, we call it the hot seat. So we talk to someone on the spot. It's live coaching with me directly, and everyone is listening to the call. People start to get aha moments, even it's not their problem. Like we recently have a call with one of the members, and I got like everyone started like to share in the Facebook group, text me personally. I say, wow, like this call was like life changing to me. And
Yes.
he had the call, not everyone, but everyone started to relate to this. You know what? And it gives this perspective, like I can relate to this person. I know that I have this issue too. So sometimes what I call it is people think like I'm not crazy, like everyone has the same problem, so we can solve it, like, you know, because sometimes like we think I'm the only person on this planet that doesn't know how to do this thing, and it's only my problem. So we remove all of these challenges and all of these problems. And I believe for me this is the way I learn personally, and this is the way I
Mhm.
evolve it, and this is I found it this is the best way I can share it, the course in the same way, and so far it's working very beautifully. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. Well, thank you so much, Khaled. It's been a pleasure talking to you today. Like I said, I've learned so much again. I'm sure, like the audience also, I bet they've learned so much as well. Thank you so much. Khaled will be in our Facebook group, so you can ask questions to him. You can interact with them, with him, and with any other speakers. And you can follow him on Facebook. He's got a Facebook page, Khaled Maziad, and the Trading Roadmap Tribe, the group that you can join. You have to knock on the door because I'm not sure if he's gonna let you in,
Yeah.
but I'm sure he will. Tell them you're from LOL or from the League of Learners.
Yeah,
So yeah, thank you
100%.
so much, Khaled. Thank you so much. It's been
Thanks for
wonderful
having me,
talking to
babe.
you. Thank you. All right.
Thank you
Well,
so
I'll see
much.
you in the next session. Thank you. See you again.
Sure. See you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.